808 Kartel.
I am feeling better today.
DJ Flippp, make the money flip.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what your life can be? Can you imagine what is possible? Can you imagine what you can achieve? Can you imagine that? That what you want to see? Can you imagine what will happen if you become who you should be? Our imagination can't be wasted. We must put this tool to use. Our imagination must be positive. Negativity we just can't choose. Our imagination is so powerful. It's power that can never be denied. Without the power of imagination, there would be nothing for me to try. That type of life would be unbearable, like sticking needles in my eye. Then I wouldn't have the vision to imagine a beautiful life. And my life is already beautiful. I am grateful for what I have, but I can imagine my life even better. Better today is what I ask, and what I ask you will be given, as long as I believe and do the work. To make sure what I am given is beautiful, I have to imagine it first. And first is what I'm seeking. I definitely don't want the 48. So I imagine what is possible, and I do believe it's not too late. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the life that you want to live? Can you imagine that? Time spent in imagination is something that we must give. Without imagination, there's a gap that's never filled. And filling gaps is second nature. Every one of us is skilled. Skilled to fill the gap, skilled to imaginate, skilled to make it happen, skilled to go create. This power is within us, power that we must choose. Without the power of imagination, there's no doubt that we will lose. And you can't imagine that. You must imagine what your life can be. Can you imagine what is possible? Can you imagine what you can achieve? Can you imagine that? That what you want to see? Can you imagine what will happen if you become who you should be? Let's eliminate any questions. Let's eliminate any needs. Let's go ahead and use our imagination. Reality, let's conceive. We're living in a simulation, and the cheat codes are within our minds. We play you to be a winner, imagination and you combine. And although we have to play it, life can't be a game. We have to take this life seriously. We all must grow and change. And that change is to be imagined. Imagine how much you can grow. And yes, it can really happen. There's something that I need you to know. I need you to know your power. I need you to know your truth. I need you to imagine a better you. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the life that you want to live? Can you imagine that? Time spent in imagination is something that we must give. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the greatness that's inside of you? And when you decide to feel better today, everything you imagine, it will come true. Imagine that. It's what we all must do. Imagine that. And it's right there for me and you. Can you imagine that?